Hey guys, welcome to the Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkovac. Today we're going to skin this deer. I'm going to show you how I do it. I don't like doing these kind of videos because a lot of the videos out there, everybody's got an opinion, everybody's got their attitude on it. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you want them hanging the other way up. I don't care any of that kind of stuff, so I don't want to hear any complaining. This is just my way. If it benefits you, you get something out of it, fantastic. But I do mine a lot different than a lot of people do. I've been doing it for a long time, and I just learned early on that this is the way that works best for me. Works your way's better, whatever the case is. Like I said, I know that I'm in the minority in the way I do it, but maybe that's a benefit for you because there's a million videos out there that show you how everybody does it. So this is how I do it. Little different kind of setup. Got this doe, shot this doe opening morning, and we're going to go ahead and go through it. I don't need a lot of stuff to skin with. You can use any knife you want. You can use your pocket knife. You know, I got a million knives over here, but you know, I use just a simple Dexter Russell paring knife most of the time. Got Havalon's, a simple fillet knife, just a simple 4-inch fillet knife, works fantastic. Whatever you want to use, whatever you want to do. There are a couple things that I do use that do come in very handy. That is going to be a carpenter knife like this, just your standard everyday carpenter knife. Where you at? So focus right there. And then these little curled blades right there. These little bitty, you know, carpet blades are what they're called. I buy them. I've done videos on this stuff, but like right here, these Milwaukee's, where you at? So you center in right there. Doesn't matter who makes them. Milwaukee, DeWalt, doesn't really matter who they're made by. But they work very well for doing a lot of your cuts. So we will be using that on here as well too. Right now I got a standard blade in here. We'll use this here. I'll change that out here. I'll pause it when I'm ready to do that. But starting with basically just my paring knife, we'll take that paring knife and I'm going to just touch it up a little bit, sharpen it here, just make sure it's all good and ready. So we just hit it a couple of times, trying to keep it centered in there, but just make sure that's ready. This is not a steel, this is a sharpening rod, it's ceramic, so it's sharpening it, not just honing it. But so I make sure that's good and ready. This deer was shot with a single bevel A. Boyer broadhead, and it was shot on a slight quartering to angle from about 5 yards. Went in right here perfectly like I wanted. And then on this side, you can see it snapped that leg right off. I mean, this deer is stiff as can be. You know, it's been, you know, it was 2 days ago that I shot it, but I mean, you can see that leg is completely busted right off. So that arrow went through the top here. I think it just missed the shoulder blade, but went in right above there, blew through, and busted that whole leg completely out. This deer just plowed and face plowed and skimmed and went 50 yards. I heard her crash and she was done. So perfect, simple setup. Now, what I like to do when I'm skinning these is I got a couple things I'm going to do first of all. Okay, notice it's head up. I do head up on purpose. That's my preference. I like it better that way. And as I process it, you'll see, and the reason for that is I don't have to fight the rest of the body hanging by the hams when I'm ready to take the hindquarters off. The skin for me comes off easier this way rather than working it from up there. I don't have to do any kind of weird cuts, and since I already have this main line, you'll see that it's pretty simple. So for me, head up works a lot better, and then I'm not fighting the skin all the way down and messing with it. I can take it from here down. Now if you're going to mount your animal, you don't want to do it head up. Okay, if you're going to mount the animal, you want to do it from the bottom because you want to be able to take everything from about here, the hide from here, you want to ring cut from here, and then take it straight up the back, or you talk to your taxidermist, but most want you to ring cut it here, take it straight up the back and peel all this forward and keep the legs on there so they have plenty of hide to work with. I don't mount deer. I don't care how big they are. I have one that I mounted for myself 15 years, 18 years ago, and then I have you know, one I did for my wife. We had mounted her first buck, but other than that, I don't do them. So I don't do shoulder mounts. So for me, this is a simple, easy process. I'm going to make 5 ring cuts here, okay? I'm going to ring cut each of the legs right here, right off the bat. I'm going to ring cut, ring cut, ring cut, ring cut, ring cut. All right, so once I have those ring cuts done, then I'm going to do line cuts. It's going to bring this together. It's pretty simple, but I'm going to take this knife and I'm just going to ring cut this right around here. I don't have to worry about tendons or anything like that because it's not hanging from there, but I just want that ring cut all the way around and loose so that comes right off like that, skin free, skin free. Okay, do the same thing here, ring cut it so that skin is free. I'm not taking the legs off, I'm not using a saw, I'm not messing with none of that stuff, I don't need to. So I got that ring cut, and make sure it's all the way around. That one's ring cut there. Yep, there we go, so that's loose, ring cut. Doing the same thing right down here. Ring cutting this all the way around. Right around. I don't care about that tendon because I'm not carrying it from there. I'm not hanging it from that tendon. So it doesn't matter to me. So that's ring cut right there. Come into here, ring cut this one. Cut right through that tendon. I don't care. It doesn't matter because I'm not hanging it from those tendons. So I got that ring cut. So there's ring cuts there. Now I'm going to lower it down so I can ring cut that. Like that. Right here. Ring cutting carefully. I don't want to cut through the meat here too much. I want to be able to just get that skin. So I'm just ring cutting it. Right around. Just like so. That should be cut. And ring cut all the way around and we should be good. So checking that. Now this cut, you do get some hair because there's a lot of hair here. So that's why I'm doing this stuff before I start opening this deer up and skinning into it. But I want that cut through the skin. Like that. And there we go. We are cut. Ring cut, skin cut, skin cut. There we go. So we got that hide cut all the way around. Make sure I got it back here. Yes. Okay, so now we got those cuts made on there. Okay, now I can keep using this knife if I want to, but I'm going to pause it. We're going to use that other one just to show you the advantage of that blade. But you could keep using this if you wanted to, but let me do that. Okay, there you go. We have that. You can see it right there. That's that carpet blade on there. Makes it just really easy. So now we have the carpet blade on there. With this deer set, can you still see that good? Yeah, we'll bring it up a little bit here for you. Alright, so with this set here, and if you know, this electric hoist I have, very nice. If you don't have this, the standard gambrel works perfect. I'll insert a picture of one. I did videos on gambrels. I did videos on the pulley systems. I have that stuff, but I will show you some of that for you as well, too, as an inset picture. The electric hoist just makes it nice. I've had it it's been hanging here for 20 years, and it works like a champ. But now, so what we have is we have these cuts. Since I already have this cut here from when I gutted this deer, and I have this cut here, I want to basically just hook on here and run that right on down, just like this, right on down to that cut. So now I'm opened up all the way through there. See how slick and easy that was? Now on here, I want to go from here to this cut in the leg, so I'm hooking on here and going right down here, right across top of the skin, right there. Now that's peeled. I'm going to do the same thing right on this side. Come right down here to that one. And now that is also peeled open. Look at all the bloodshot. Oh, you can already see it in there from hitting that shoulder. And now on the bottoms, we bring this up as high as I can. All right, can you see the hams in there? Yes. Okay, since I already have this cut from when I processed, or when I skinned this, or dressed this deer out, field dressed it, I'm just going to take this knife and I'm going to cut right here to that spot, to that ring cut there, right here to that ring cut right there, okay? See, now I opened, all that stuff is opened up right there, okay? Just makes life easy. Now this deer is ready, okay? It's split from there and I can take it down. If you want to, now normally that's how I would go, but let's just say you wanted to make it even easier, you could simply hook this right on the back and run right down the back like this, straight on down, and now that's even going to make it even easier. Now you can almost take it off in half. Now you don't have to do that. None of this is a have to. You can do it any way you want to. When I'm rolling these things in the field, I do it from here this way because it's laying on the ground. Again, there's no rhyme or reason and there is no right or wrong way. Whatever works for you. But now this is done. But you saw how quick that was to do all those cuts. This thing is just amazing. Now if I wanted to, since I'm bringing those off, those legs are coming off like that too, I could also take this here as I skin and I start bringing that down. I could skin this from this elbow right to the bottom of this like that to make it even easier, okay? I mean, there is no right or wrong way to doing this, okay? Whatever works to get it off there. We're not keeping this hide. I'm throwing this hide out. So it doesn't matter to me how many pieces you cut it into or what you do with it, all right? That's the whole point I'm trying to make here. But this front side that I showed you, this is how I always do this, okay? Ring cuts to here, to here, to here. Those 5 cuts are mandatory. This one here in the back, like I said, does make life a little bit easier. But now I am done with this, okay? So I don't need that anymore. Going back to my standard, simple, just a paring knife. It works fantastic. If I lower this deer down, I'm going to start it from the top down. So I'm going to start from right here where I made that cut, okay? And I'm going to start working this. It's always a little tricky in the beginning here until you get it started. Once you get her started, life gets a lot easier, okay? But you got to kind of get it going here to begin with. And you got to get that hide. Hang on. There we go. You don't want to take much meat here. So it takes a second to kind of get her figured out. Like so. Okay, so right there. Alright, now, since I have the front and the back cut here, okay, so I have the front right here, the back right here, I can take this whole section off in one side. Now if you didn't do that back, I would keep working it around. But since I already have this, right here like this, basically just working it right on down. Right here like this. I mean, it's not, you know, I mean, heck, half of it comes down on its own just from pulling. And when you get here by the shoulder, since you already did that initial inside cut right here where we split from here to here, it's a lot easier. You're just working it right around the outside of the shoulder. There's no reason to get over compensated or carried away with this. Just bring it right on down. Here's the shoulder. Yeah, a lot of damage in here from that head. Okay, but you're just taking this right off of here. It just makes life pretty easy to do it this way. And you can see with that cut in the back, it's even simpler because I don't have to fight this whole deer all the way around. I can just take this one side off right here. Of course, I picked the bloodshot, beat up, broken side here first to start with to show you. But, and since I split this leg already, you can see, stop moving. Let me bring it down a little bit here. No, I'm leaving it. But since I already split this leg on both sides, it's very quick and easy to just work right around this. Okay, it doesn't take long at all. And once you get down past this shoulder, you try doing it before this pocket, you're going to jam up. But once you get to this point here, you can basically pull it right off. I mean, it's not going to fight you too much. I like to get it off the bottom of the leg there. Split this side on the inside. Just like this. So that that's there. That's basically off. And clean, set, like that. And now when you have this, a trick for pulling this. This is very slippery. Trying to grab onto here and pull. You can do it as you see. But an easy trick to make that life a lot simpler, for example, hang on, let me grab one here. So if we grab like this rag here, this old t-shirt, if you take this rag and you grab hold of the slimy side, the inside, it bites on that rag really good. Roll it in there once, and you can pull, and you can see it makes it a lot easier to pull. If you're wearing junk clothes, you can take your arm and force it down in there if you want to, but it just makes life a lot easier than trying to hold on to that. The shirt will grip onto this stuff really good and pull. I didn't take that part off yet, but with the back side here like this, where we got that cut, you can see that it just grabs and pulls. Put your weight down into it like that, nothing to it. Now we got more cutting to do. Right here to bring this side around. Okay, and then we take this section here that we have in the front. We just got to bring this to it. Take that right off of there. Got the inside right here by the elbow. Again, like I said, I'm dealing with a broken leg here, so it's a little tricky. The other side will be easier. But just pulling that right on down. And then you got to get, again, that pocket set right here. Excuse me. Like so. And it's like I said, just very simple, just working the hide. Right on down, you get to a point, again, where it loosens up, grab your shirt, come in here, grab the wet part of that where it's there, and you can push that right off, just like that. I mean, there's really nothing to it. See, I mean, I'm already basically, this whole half of the deer is skinned now. I gotta do the inside of that leg, but I mean, as you can see, I'll bring it up a little higher. Just a very simple process. I mean, there's nothing to it. It just takes it right off. Just peels it right down, peels it right off. Gotta do the inside of that leg right there, and that's half of that deer is done. That's that, there's the tendon. And that's all there is to it. I mean, we just skinned half of that deer right there. Done, sweet and easy. Throw that right in the garbage bag. Now, it's definitely a faster process if we didn't do this cut in the back, because then you're taking it all down at one time. But I wanted to show you how easy that is. So you do that, and then we just do the same thing on the other side. Like I said, we would have did it all at once. Would have been done all at once as a whole unit here if we didn't put the cut on the back. But since we did, now we got to do this side. Always the toughest to start around your first cut here. Just grab the corner where that inside seam is. Work it around. I'll spin it so you can see. But see where I had that flap right there. Grabbing that flap. Just cutting it back. Like this. And just start working it right on down. Try to leave the meat on a deer. Okay, and bringing it right down. Let's spin it so you can see here. Just like this. Don't start wrenching and pulling on this till you have meat free. See, I got a little bit of meat left on here. That should have been left there. You don't want to take that. You want to leave that meat on the on the deer so you can eat that. Okay, so don't start tugging hard until you got that free of meat, until it's just basically the seam of the hide that you're pulling on. Because if you start wrenching right now, you're ripping meat off this thing, and you don't want to do that. But neck meat's always a little trickier to work around right there, because it's the hide's thin here. Okay, and there we go. That's where that entry hole is right there. That's why that's like that right there. Broadhead does some damage, there's no doubt about it. Okay, so get this hide off of here. Got to kind of get out of this pocket right here on the shoulder. The hide goes in and comes back out, so you got to kind of work it out of there. Like so. Just like that, just bringing it right on down. But you don't want to start tugging until you get to a point where tugging is going to work for you. If you start pulling too early or at the wrong time, you start ripping through stuff, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's just cut that right out of there. There we go. And we got this section here. This is that kind of the armpit part. And since this one is rigor mortis here, you got to kind of work in there. You can't really move that arm out of the way. So you got to kind of just work your way through there. Like that. Bring that hide down. Bring this side around. Then just start working your hide down here, okay? It's not hard. Just following the seam of that stretch. You stretch it, you'll see that light stuff, and you just keep working it down. Okay, you can let the knife do the work for you, like that, or you can put some muscle in it and pull it. But either way, it's just working that edge on there. A million videos out here that show how to do that. Okay, so once I want it past all this before I start tugging on it myself. So there's that. There's that. Want this inside corner out of here. That inside corner is always kind of the trickiest. Again, especially when rigor mortis is set in. There we go. Bring those down. Okay, now you can go back to using, if you want, taking your old t-shirt, your towel, whatever you got, grab hold of this and let that, let it do its work for you if you want to. Grab it, pull it, put that shirt on there, really grabs hold of that wet stuff real easy and makes it come down a lot easier. So it's a good little trick for you. Oh, see that right there? You start pulling too hard, you're going to start taking that meat. You don't want to do that. I'll get that out of there when I do it. There we go. Okay. But very easy to do. Not complicated. Like I said, I like it head up because then it's ready set for me for processing when I'm ready. Very simple. Easy to do. Bring it up a little higher so we work on it. And if it's warm, meaning you do this early enough before, mine's been hanging for 2 days, this will pull a lot better for you. Earlier on you get it. So, but just taking that hide, pull it basically right down off of there. Just like that. She'll peel right off. Nothing too crazy, nothing too complicated. Now I'm going to have to get the inside of that leg in 1 sec here. Did I get the inside or did I just break it off? Nope, we got it, pulled it right off, perfect, good. That's done, then we take that tail off. So, you can skin that or you can do whatever you want to do. That tail's obviously going to come out. But that there is how I skin a deer. Simple, easy, no having to cut legs. When I process these quarters out, it'll be real easy for me to I don't have to mess with these legs. No reason to cut them off. I already have them out of the way. Everything is taken care of. That deer is basically ready right now, set and ready for me to start processing. But I don't know how long that took. But usually you can do this whole skinning thing about 5 minutes, really, if you want to. It's not too bad. Yeah, pretty crazy, that devastation. That went, oh, that is chunk there. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That hit went right through the top of that shoulder right there. That is insane. And look at that leg. Look at that broken leg and damage. It split the whole thing right in half. Completely gone. Right there. It's completely, pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. So anyway, though, that's how I skin a deer. Your system, your way of doing it may be 100% different. You may have different things, but like I said, I thought maybe by showing you mine, maybe you would pick up something that might be beneficial for you, okay? I don't want people complaining, telling me I'm doing it wrong, telling me this isn't the right way. There is no right way. There is no wrong way. It's your meat. You cut it up any way you want to, but I just showed you how easy and fast that was to skin it. And like I said, it's actually a lot quicker if you don't put the cut down the back and you just take it down as all one. But again, just goes to show you, there is no right way or wrong way. If that's easier for you and you don't have the muscle in your hands and you get, you know, they ache and you're gonna fight trying to pull both sides of this off and work it all the way around and keep it coming down as one, throw that extra cut down the back and just work one side, then work the other like I did. There's no reason to overcomplicate this. Do it your way. Whatever's going to work best for you is what matters the most. And there you go. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll actually do a video as I start to cut this dude up tomorrow and show you some of that. But like I said, not hard to skin an animal. Very easy to do it. That's the way I do it. And all I used was a paring knife, just a simple Dexter Russell paring knife, and a carpenter blade with a carpet hook on it. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. You don't need anything fancy. I could have used a knife in my pocket and a Zula. Like I said, very, very simple process. So thanks for watching. I'll be back with more stuff soon. All right, bye.